Can an abandoned school open its doors every night? And can a guard work in a place where he died years ago? The school had been closed for many years. No students, no teachers, no activity inside. Yet one guard still worked there every night. People in the neighborhood said they heard children laughing after midnight. Everyone believed it was just imagination. One night, a boy entered the school to retrieve a notebook he had forgotten. He noticed the light was on in the guard's room. He moved closer quietly. He heard the guard's voice saying, "Sit down. The lesson is about to begin." The boy slowly opened the door. The guard was sitting in front of the blackboard. He was talking to empty desks. Suddenly, one chair moved on its own. Then the boy heard a child's whisper behind him. "The guard is not guarding the school. The guard is trapped here with us." The boy ran away in terror and called the police. When the police checked the school records, they discovered a horrifying truth. The school guard had died inside the building 15 years ago. As for the guard seen that night, his name was listed as the latest missing person. After the police discovered that the original guard had died 15 years ago, they couldn't find any trace of the mysterious person the boy had seen. But the strange events didn't stop there. Neighbors began hearing the squeaking of doors and children's laughter coming from inside the school, even though it had been completely closed. A young journalist named Sammy, who was fascinated by ghost stories, decided to investigate for himself. On a dark, quiet night, Sammy entered the school equipped with a camera and flashlight. As he stepped inside, he felt an icy chill, as if the air itself were dead. Sammy moved slowly through the dark hallways, his footsteps echoing in the empty classrooms. Suddenly, he heard a faint whisper, "The lesson has begun." Sammy approached the classroom where the mysterious guard was seated. He saw a shadow sitting behind the desk, its eyes glowing faintly, almost inhuman. Sammy tried to get closer, but the door slammed shut behind him, trapping him inside. Then strange things began to happen. Chairs moved on their own, the blackboard wrote words he couldn't understand, and children's laughter echoed all around him, as if they were surrounding him. Suddenly, the guard, or what remained of him, appeared, moving towards Sammy. His voice was strange, half whisper, half scream. "You entered. You will never leave." Sammy tried to run, but it felt as if his feet weren't touching the ground, as if the school had become a trap with no exit. Suddenly, he remembered his small notebook containing old incantations about trapped spirits in abandoned places. He began reading aloud, and the air around him started to shake. Gradually, days later, the neighborhood discovered that Sammy's name had been added to the missing persons list, just like the mysterious person the boy had seen years ago. The school remained closed and abandoned, but the laughter after midnight never stopped. In the final scene, the guard's shadow appears behind the window of the last classroom, wearing a sinister smile, watching anyone who dares to approach the school, as if saying, "The lesson is not over yet." After Sammy disappeared and his name appeared on the missing persons list, a group of curious teenagers in the neighborhood decided, despite the warnings, to enter the school at night to see what was really happening inside. On a dark night, 3 of them approached the school: Layla, Yusef, and Omar. The wind was howling, and the doors creaked eerily. As they entered, they felt the cold seep into their bones, and whispers began rising from the empty classrooms. "Layla, do you hear that? It sounds like children." Yusef, "Maybe it's just imagination, but the footsteps, I feel like something is watching us." They slowly moved toward the guard's classroom, where a faint light glowed as if there were life inside. As they got closer, they saw the guard sitting at the desk, writing on the blackboard, which was covered in strange, inverted words. Suddenly, the chairs began moving wildly, and the voices grew louder until it was impossible to distinguish between children's laughter and the guard's whispers. Omar tried to run, but the door slammed shut with force, as if an invisible force was trapping them inside. "Layla, we're trapped. We have to find a way out." Yusef remembered Sammy's old notebook, which contained spells and incantations about trapped spirits. He began reciting the incantations aloud. The air around them shook, and shadows began fading slowly. But suddenly, Sammy's ghostly shadow appeared beside them, his eyes empty, half alive and half trapped between worlds. He whispered in a broken voice, "The guard will not let you leave. The lesson continues." Layla felt something grab her hand, but she realized it was only a shadow appearing and disappearing. The sounds grew stronger, the laughter turning into screams, as if the school itself were breathing. After desperate attempts, they managed to repeat the incantation several times. Suddenly, the voices vanished, and the doors opened on their own. They all ran out, but when they looked back, they saw the last classroom window illuminated, and the familiar shadow of the guard smiling at them sinisterly, as if to say, "The lesson is not over yet, and you will return someday." The school remained abandoned, and the curious ones became storytellers of its horrors. But anyone who approached afterward felt something watching from the shadows, and the laughter after midnight never ceased.